Crusaders Nation is your boy. I'm Mega in the building, back at it with another Comic Crusaders Geek Fest Special. That collaboration, because Geek Fest is killing it this year. I mean, because the convention season is still going, and my homies out there pulling out the best in indie film for you guys to view and vote on. All right, and today we're going to be bringing you a man with over 20 years of battle-tested experience in the digital trenches of video, television, and film. He's a storyteller, a visual architect, and a straight-up cinematic general. Salute, kiddo. And I'm talking none other than this powerful powerhouse himself, the amazing, the one, the only Mr. Wes Eastin. There we go. First of all, welcome, because folks, I want to tell these Crusaders right here that we're going to be diving deep into your journey today. This crazy world of production, this wild ride across TV, film, and most importantly, we're putting a spotlight on this thought-provoking project you got out right now that's touring on GeekFest FilmFest, all right? Shopping for Superman, mi gente. Oh, man, listen, I got the trailer, and I think you guys are going to get as enthused as I did. Once I saw the trailer, I said, oh, this is what homie is doing. I said, oh, snap. I'm a fan already. So get ready for some laughs, some insight and inspiration with the man himself. We're about to soar higher than the Man of Steel himself. So let's get it, Wes. What's going on, kiddo?
How do you live up to that introduction? Holy crap. Thanks, man. That's fantastic. How much are you hourly? Can you be my hype man, like on a regular basis? Like,
listen, you're my over 600 and change on CC, and the GeekFest Special. I think I've done over 100 at this point. So yeah, you may be the 550th person to want to hire me to be their hype man.
Yeah, but first in your heart, but number one in your heart, I'm sure. Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of work, baby. That's great.
Oh yeah, well, listen, I love talking to people like you guys. Like, you inspire me and inspire others, and anything that we could do to maybe help inspire the next generation of creators through your journeys is definitely what we're here for. So, talking about that, you've been in this production game, dude, for over 20 years. And look how young you look, bro. I don't even see a gray hair there yet, unless you're doing that just for men stuff like Rudy, but we'll talk about that later.
It's not a good camera. That's why. Like, you can't see the wrinkles. You can't see the age. Also, you got to keep these cheeks on you. Once you have those, you'll look like a baby. One day it's all just going to hang, and then people are like, oh, no, you're whatever age you just said.
You're not going to pull your face back, man? Like some of the actors out there? Come on, bro. All right, so man. I need to know, bro, what was that spark that got you behind the camera and interested in this wild world of film and production?
Honestly, man, just the fact that, like, movies are magical. I know that's like a worn out phrase, but when you come out of a movie that you love, you feel charged up, like amped up. And it was just thinking, like, people can just do this for a living. Like, that can be the thing you do, where some kid's going to go watch my movie one day and just come out of the theater like, I can do anything with this energy that I have coming out of here. And that's really what got me motivated to want to talk about comic book shops too, because they've been on par with film in the thing that has been the greatest inspiration for me in my life. Because you walk into a comic book store, man, you're walking into a world full of stories that you can't wait to read, art that you get to like appreciate more than like it. It's a museum you can take home with you. You know what I mean?
And not just that, the fact that comic book movies and properties and IPs are so hot in the world of film. I mean, now these folks that become fans of the films could branch out in their fandom through more discovery through the books. Like, folks like you and I would be like, yo, you know what? But there's a comic book you could check out. You want to learn more about the character. And again, it drives the comic book economy as well, because look right now, shout out to my man Izzy, check out that he does the trending comics of the week. And it's funny how the top trending comics are related in collaboration with films. The Man of Tomorrow. What's the next James Gunn film? Anything with Dr. Doom on it. I mean, what's happening with next in the Secret Wars? I mean, you know what I mean? So anything that's film and comics, you're right. They are a symbiotic thing right now. It was never before, but I'm happy it does, because I think that's definitely going to be a piece of what helps comics survive. I don't like this talk that comics are going to die, but no, they won't. As long as we have these films and you could, say, hey, we have more extended stories. Hey, this was based on that. Maybe you want to compare, because people love to compare and talk, you know what I mean? So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, and you talk about they're finally catching up now, right? Like figuring out, hey, we have all these, million, billion-dollar properties. Well, what came first? It was the comic book, and they really need to
Yes.
be paying their due to the book. We say like, oh man, you love Black Panther. What kind of a story do you want about Black Panther? Because we got a whole lineup. We've got some incredible writers on, on
Exactly. Who
this
are we talking?
character.
Are we doing Kirby stories? You're doing Don McGregor stories? You're doing Christopher Priest stories, etc., etc. I mean, so many
Absolutely.
creators have touched these. Like, who you're blessing us with? Which version?
Right? It's amazing. I actually got to meet Priest when I was working on the film. Insanely awesome cat. Like he just told them at DC one day, like, hey, this guy's going to come interview me in a conference room. And they were like, no, you can't do that. He has to sign like all these
Oh
documents and,
my! He
legal
goes,
and
no,
this and
he's
that.
doing that. He goes,
Exactly.
I
He's just
bless you.
like,
He's doing it.
no, no, no. He's just gonna do it. And it's gonna be fine. And I did. And it was amazing. It's just like looking over my shoulder the whole time, like someone's gonna come pull me out of here. And he's like, you're okay.
A DC sniper who's gonna come at you like, yeah, what you
Right.
doing,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. All right, so let's get into it because you've done it all: digital, TV, film.
That's right.
Which arena has been the wildest circus for you to tame in this journey?
Tame. I don't know if I've ever tamed anything. Honestly, man, like I've definitely been a part of the circus. I've been in ring number 3 or whatever. I think I gotta say like the biggest challenge and the thing that I loved being the biggest challenge was comedy. I worked in a comedy space on YouTube for a cat named Ray William Johnson years back. And
Okay.
that was a lot of fun, man. Just every day coming to work with this idea like, hey, we get to make people laugh. Hopefully we're doing our job. And it's a challenge to like think like, well, what is funny? Like after a while you get kind of wrung out. Like I worked in marketing, selling stuff to people feels pretty easy. It gets kind of boring and typical, but like laughter is this like ever evolving thing. Like what's funny
Yes.
this week isn't funny next week. You know what I mean? So your brain constantly has to be changing. And that's what I hope to bring into this film too. Cause I'm like, comic book shops are a subject matter I care a lot about, and you obviously
Yes.
care a lot about,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
not everybody cares about it the same way. And I think comedy is this great unifying factor that I try to bring into the film so that when someone's watching it that maybe doesn't know a lot about comics or comic shops, they can at least have a
Oh, yeah.
laugh while they learn
I
about the
chuckled.
history of them. You know what I
I
mean?
chuckled. I can't wait to show off the trailer because there was a moment I chuckled. 'Cause everything looks so positive. Then a certain creator comes on and just gives you this like moment, like you're like, oh god, you're like, damn, shit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got to bring my heart right there. Relax. It made me think that way about this. I can't wait to show off that trailer. But before we do that, again, I want to learn a little bit more about the Eastin verse and the
Oh,
journey over here. You know what I mean?
the
Because
Easterverse.
again, yeah, bro, that's right. You better get those T-shirts, get them done, all right? Because your
Right.
resume is thicker than a comic book omnibus, to be honest. So, what's one project from your early years that maybe shaped who you are as a filmmaker today?
Oh, wow. One project. I mean, it's hard to choose. It's crazy though. Like I wasn't even in the industry yet, and there was a movie years ago George Romero made called The Crazies.
Oh,
It's
yes,
you know what I
yes, I
mean?
know that movie. Yes.
So they remade that with Timothy Olyphant, and they shot it in Georgia. Well, I'm from Atlanta, and my girlfriend at the time, her roommate was a
ATL, baby.
producer. She's like, "Hey, you want to make $100?" And I was like, "You have my attention." She's like, "You got to go down to this like crazy distant part of Georgia. They're shooting a George Romero remake." And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah! I think Brett Eisner."
You had me at Romero, right?
Dude, yeah, I was like crazy. So I showed up and they put me in a hazmat suit and they had me go out there and like I steal a kid from some lady and Timothy Olyphant's like kind of concerned walking around. It was in a crazy night and I'm just like, I got to do more of this. I've
Yeah,
always
let's
wanted
go.
to work on movies. How do I get in? Everyone I met that night was like, you talk to this guy, you'll say you'll do, X, Y, and Z. So within a week, I was in the industry. I was a mover.
What?
I was moving furniture on a set for a TV show.
Yeah,
And
my
that,
man. He ain't fuck
like,
around.
it
Oh,
was
yeah.
so great, man. It was so crazy how quick that happened. But, the passion and the work ethic, like I've been working for years trying to get there, but I didn't really know anybody. You know
Well,
what I mean?
hey,
Atlanta's
let's
a
talk
big
about
little
that though.
city.
Let's talk about that because again, I think that a problem with a lot of creators or people that are trying to step in is that they don't have the courage to speak up or ask a question. What made you say that day is like, I gotta, if I don't speak now, I probably won't do this?
I mean, I would think it was the energy and the passion and just like, why not? Like, I think of it like in a lot of cases, I may never see this person again, what's the worst that can happen?
Say
You know
no,
what I
right,
mean?
for now. I always say
If you want it though, you got to ask, like you got to care. And then I found out from that day forward, asking questions is the only way to get anything done. Because like a lot of people will show up and they won't ask questions because they don't want to seem ignorant or uninformed. And every movie set I've ever worked on, asking questions, everyone smiled bigger and wider every time, because it's like, you didn't know, you asked a question, now you're smarter from it, instead of getting defensive and pretending you knew something. That kind of thing gets people hurt. You know what I mean? Like outside of the wanting to like level up and so forth, like in real life, you don't ask questions because you think it'll make you look bad. It could end up not being a safe situation for people on a movie set.
Well, I get that. And this journey of yours thus far, right? Again, 20 years. Again, not that I'm trying to show your age and all, but that's a long, awesome journey, doing something that I see you actually passionate about. So, are there any routines, rituals, or guilty pleasures that recharge your brain?
Oh man, guilty pleasures. Honestly, anything that's not work feels guilty now, and I know that seems kind of lame, but like I've started using things like Helldivers or just the occasional video game. Where it's
my man's going. You said Helldivers. Heck yeah, man.
Like it's going to be contained 30 to 40 minutes. Like when it's done, it's done. If I want to keep playing, I have to think about it and be like, all right, one more or whatever. But reading comics is the thing I do every day, just before bed, whenever I get a second to do it. It's not a guilty pleasure. It's not even an unwinding thing. I'm engaged. With Helldivers, I can turn my brain off for a minute. And it's been so long since I've actually had the opportunity to do it, because in the game now, you used to think like you could make a movie and someone will come along and be like, I want that movie. I'm going to buy that movie from you. And now you've got to be the writer, the director, the editor, you don't have to be those things, but if you don't, you don't have.
Where's the hat rack, bro? Where's the hat rack? You need to have a hat rack behind you with every.
Oh my God, yeah, just pull them down, like have them like Pee Wee Herman, just drop into frame and switch them out. Yeah, that's been the thing. And now it's marketing. Like I've got to get the marketing done. I'm the one connected with the distribution people. Like you have to figure out how to do all of these things.
The Eastin verse is real. The Eastin verse is real, man. Dude. And folks, man, we're about to get into. You hear this? You see this? All this work, because he's doing some actual really dope work. And I was Ubering. I'm a documentary fanatic, and when I saw this trailer, I said, "Oh shit! This has shot up to #1 on my viewing list. I must watch the complete version of this, folks. If you love comics." If you are a Wednesday warrior that troops it to your local comic shop, let me tell you, this is an impactful movie. For you retailers, look at what my man is doing. I want more stories. We're going to into this. The Eastin verse going to expand on this? We'll find out. But check out what Shopping for Superman is all about.
Up in the sky, it's a bird. It's a plane.
The American Comic Shop. For over 50 years, they have been a singular space for collecting and graphic storytelling.
In many ways, is kind of the godfather of comics as they exist today.
It's something that you just can't do unless you really love it, unless you're devoted to it.
I couldn't believe that there was a shop just for this stuff.
There's something about comics that seems to pull people together like other things don't.
If you go back to the early 1970s, there were maybe 20, 30, 40 comic stores in the United States at that time. At its peak, we probably had 5,000.
I have enough comics to sell 1,000 comics a day for about 27 years.
The business was booming.
It felt like there was no end to the potential growth.
That all went to hell.
A local comic shop is closing its doors.
That's the one. Oh my God.
Catastrophic failure of comic shops.
And I'm like, you dirty. A lot of us didn't have the business backgrounds.
Went totally off the rails. They had no idea what they were doing.
After things did crash, we got to come up with the biggest thing we possibly can. And they did.
After 54 years, DC Comics has decided to kill off Superman.
And the whole room goes dead silent.
Ooh, let me do that again. Let me do a heavy sigh again.
This had to happen, or there wouldn't be a market.
The future of comic shops has never been more in doubt.
Local comic store's biggest competitor has become Amazon.
We are on the brink of collapse, very much.
There's something magical about all this, and I don't want that magic to end.
This is not an optional lifestyle. This is all I got.
I want this store to be something that people remember with awe long after I'm gone.
Wepa, you saw that, folks. Shopping for Superman. Check out that website, shoppingforsuperman.com. You can check them out at GeekFest LA at a a convention near you. Check out that website to find out what convention they will be at that may be near your home that you could check out this amazing film. I mean, for you can stay up to date on Facebook and Instagram at shop4 SUPEDOC. All right. All right. So let's get into this. Let's deep dive, brother. Shopping for Superman. Give us that elevator pitch of what you would say this film is about and why people need to stop scrolling and pay attention right now.
Oh man, it's the origin story of your friendly neighborhood comic shop. I mean, what's more fascinating than that? Because it didn't just spring up overnight. It came about over years and years. And you're talking about an industry that was dominated by magazine distribution. The mob had their hands in things. And then English teacher from Brooklyn decided, I can make a little money doing this and turn the whole thing on its head. And he does. And it's an incredible story to see where they came from. And then to see everything they've done since then to influence the culture. I mean, we wouldn't have the Marvel movies. We wouldn't have Comic-Con. We wouldn't have the things that we have now if it weren't for this effect.
Absolutely. It's those comic shop guys. Hey, we have overstock. Let's sell. Let's create shows. Let's sell books. Let's get these guys that do these things over here. These little things, and who would have thought, basement shows in a hotel wound up being the, events that are like the world be traveling to. And I dig it. That's why I love being part of this culture, bro. Now, I need to know, again, you're saying that you're a comic book fan, so I need to learn about the seeds of inspiration here. And let's go back into those comic book origins of yours, if you will. Talk to me. What was the first love in the comic book world? Who introduced it to you? Was it your parents, a sibling, a cousin, uncle, titi?
Yeah, my titi. I tell you, man, it was the first book I remember, like really latching on to, was a Superman comic from 1992. I want to say, and it just had a super sick cover. It had Lex Luthor, and he was holding Supergirl in front of him, or maybe she was jumping, like flying in front of him, and they had like a giant brain behind him, and it said they saved Luthor's brain. And I just remember as a kid being like, "Oh, that's nasty," because they had a brain on the cover of a comic, and I picked it up and I was like, "Actually, this is okay." You know what I mean? Like it was one of those impulse buys at a grocery store or whatever. Mom's like, okay, fine, you're gonna read, that's cool, I guess, and then
that's how my mother saw it. Hey, and if you're reading and not outside causing ruckus, okay,
right. Yeah, definitely an indoor kid after I started liking some comic books. And we lived my family owned a picture framing store, and it was next to a newsstand, and no young person knows what that is, but it's where they had magazines, books, newspapers. And so I would just go there and sit on their floor, and they had a box underneath like a table of books with no covers on the comics.
So basically, folks, if you see Watchmen, he was like the little black kid.
I was a small black child. I don't know how far I'll get with that description, but in this
just
one
for them
instance,
to understand, that's how I see it. The little black kid from the Watchmen that used to read, and read the comic books. You know what I mean? It's like, the way you say it, all right, I went straight to that. Again, listen.
It's my Kamala Harris moment, like, and that little black child is me. For sure though, like you couldn't keep comics out of my hand when I was a kid. I broke my leg one summer. My parents got me all the Batman run from Nightfall, where Bane breaks his back.
No way, your parents got you that?
For serious, like they went to like a B. Dalton back when they first started putting trades.
B. Dalton, look at
That's
this
right.
Jesus
they came back to, we got you some books. I'm like, okay, great. And they had gotten the Nightfall like bound book, and I was like,
oh my god, bro, you were a lucky kid. I should have broken my leg.
My mom felt bad because she made me. She didn't believe it was broken, and she was like, "Your leg's not broken. You're just causing a ruckus." And I was like, "No, my leg's this feels awful. I heard something pop." She's like, "Don't be such a sissy." And then we go to the doctor, got X-rayed. It's broken in 4 places. And she made me walk around the hospital. I'm like, they have wheelchairs everywhere. She's like, don't be a punk. You're gonna go in. They're gonna tell you it's a sprain and you're being a baby. And so for like a couple of weeks, anything
You
I
were
wanted,
king.
it was like,
You were king.
yeah, exactly.
Did you have a bell, mother?
I should have gotten one. You're gonna be Alfred now. You're gonna bring me more Bane books.
Now you know you wrote, Mama. I'm sorry you did this to me.
I earned that. I earned that bound paperback.
I love it. I love it. All right, bro, we got to get into this. The title is genius. Shopping for Superman. How did you land on that name?
It came to me one day. I've been thinking about, I want to make a documentary about comic book shops, and I don't really know how I'm going to structure it. And I know it's going to be like a history lesson combined with the love of the shops and why the owners do what they do and why they need to be supported. That was always there. But the title came to me one day when I was just running it through my head. It made me laugh. And then it made me think there was a documentary years back called Waiting for Superman about the education system. And I thought, okay, well, if they got away with it, maybe, I can get away with using it too. And since that day, everyone's been like, but what about DC? And I'm like, they only got mad when I tried to shoot an interview in Burbank. Like, I'm sure it's fine. They heard the name of the movie. Since then,
you're not selling a Superman property. You're just saying, it's like for people to shop for Superman comics.
Exactly.
In a way, promotional thing for them. So
exactly. And I mean, the only thing they've had to say is don't use Superman, the character or the IP, in any of your advertising. Don't broadcast it as though it's about or in conjunction with Superman or DC. And I was like, yeah, no problem. It's not really about you. You're making this about you. This is about all comics.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, what's wrong with you, DC? Why everything gotta be about you? Relax, son.
Anytime you see that symbol, though, like people want to say the S stands for hope. They want to tell you all the things the S stands for.
Superman, all right?
It stands for Superman. It stands for comic books. Anytime you see that S on a store, it tells you they sell comic books there. Every time.
Yeah, again, not for nothing, but the Comic Crusaders shield is a shield, yes, but it's also because of Superman's banner. It's like, I love Superman, so he was one of my first loves in superhero, and being a good person. You know what I mean? Even though he's an alien, again, that's what Superman teaches you: be a better human, even though he's not from here. So, you know what I mean? I Comic Crusaders is all about that. Superman crusading for justice and the good in the world, baby. Now, I gotta ask though. I know the title is great. But by chance, did you have any backup titles that maybe were too crazy, too hot to use? You're like, you know what? Fuck, I can't use that.
I don't know, man. Like we thought about it. I had a group of folks. I'm like, all right, so what can we do? And the first thought was shopping. I'm like, okay, for superheroes. I was like, that's not got the same razzle dazzle that the other does. I'll tell you one thing. There's a documentary. I haven't been able to find it, but I haven't looked too hard. I got nervous when I saw that they were making it, called Surviving Comics. And I was like, oh, that's a scary title. Like that's more worrisome than anything else.
Yeah.
I learned about it a few years ago, and they came out not too long ago. They didn't have to worry about their title at all. But I thought about it. I was like, yeah, that definitely, people do a lot of fear-based stuff. Not that they're trying to scare people, but like, in my mind, like that's got an edge to it. You know what I mean?
Well, then you're going to love my new podcast with Heidi McDonald from The Beat and Dave Elliott. We call it Comics Will Kill You Podcast.
Oh, my God.
Talking about the journey of comics,
I don't know if this could just be a story someone like abbreviated what he said, but there's a thing I heard a while back where Jack Kirby told like a young comics fan years and years ago, comics will break your heart, kid. And it's one of those things that anytime I hear it, I'm like, oh my God, like Jack Kirby saying that. You know what I mean? The King, Jack King Kirby.
Yeah, it's a man that worked. There will never be a man that worked on his level ever again, I think. Because my man was just stuck to his chair. He lived glued, smoking a cigar, doing his thing, penciling out, pencils on the table with paper, no digital, no nothing, and probably produced more work than AI could ever produce.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's amazing.
King Kirby was the original AI, bro. Let me tell you, all right?
He needed more prompts, though. Like AI doesn't need cigars. Jack needed a couple of things to really get working.
But thank God he needed all that shit, because let me tell you, the madness he brought about in this world, we love it every single day. Now, bro, every film has its battles, right? So what was the toughest creative challenge that you faced making shopping for Superman? Because I see that you were touring, man. I mean, Mile High Comics. I know Big Chuck, man, legendary. I've never been to the shop. I'm very jealous that you saw it. I mean, if I go there, I'm probably going to drop my whole rent. I'm going to get homeless.
Chuck will help you spend some money for sure.
I know he will.
Yeah, it's a great spot. So, I mean, money has been the greatest creative challenge, because I mean, this is not for the broad world, for the person who wants the elevator pitch so they can throw some money in and hopefully get a lot back out. Comic book shops are not the sexiest subject matter, broadly speaking, and trying to raise money, it was a big challenge. Also, time. I mean, I work 9 to 5. I've got a wife. We lived in LA, then we lived in Pennsylvania. Now we live in Ohio. We've moved a bunch. COVID happened. Some people also lose interest. Some people die. Some people get kind of sick. That's happened through all of this. I had a hard drive failure where I lost that. I was saying about the Christopher Priest interview, gone forever.
Oh,
I know. Yeah, dude, it hurt. But like, there have been all of these struggles. You want to call them creative? They definitely have been creative. I've always been taught that any artist, you can take anything that you have and apply your creativity and your imagination to it, like Pippi Longstocking style. You don't know where to go with something. Like, give me some chalk and a black surface, and I'll make a set. You know,
I'll make it happen, baby. Let's go.
Exactly. And so that's what it ended up happening. And I mean, I don't want to get too flip here, but we built a minimalist comic book shop was our last like big push, and I did a Kickstarter to help pay for the post. But a lot of the money that came in from before was to pay for this. We built a minimalist comic book shop on a little soundstage at Kenyon College in Mount Vernon, Ohio. And we had students come in, we had art director, we had all these people bring material, all of my comics, extra stuff we could find and beg to build this tiny comic shop. Because to actually ask a business, hey, can you shut down for 5 days while we shoot all this B-roll and this footage, would be way more expensive, inconvenient, and just awful for them, unless I'm paying like their cap per day and getting $1 million insurance policy, et cetera, it's not going to happen. So we had to think big with little means. And so my wife remembers the day, because I ate an edible and I shouldn't have, but I was just sitting there in my notebook, just like, and then it's going to be this and this and this. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm finishing the movie right now. It's happening. And she's like, okay, I've heard this before. I'm like, COVID's not happening in the way it was. Like, I can get this done finally. And it was a miracle, man. It all came out of nowhere. But without that funding, we would not have made this date. And
funding, man, money, right? You know what I mean? Sometimes don't we wish that that we had some type of forum, like, all right, let's have minimal investment where money may not be the biggest factor, but hopefully, things could happen. Technology is getting better, access, tools, community, collaborative energy. I think it's getting better nowadays. So you never know where that could lead to, like that very anarchy type of style of collaboration. Like, let's just help one another. You got me on this, but when I do my shit, you got to get me on it. You know what I mean?
And some people don't let it slow them down. There are other comic shop documentaries out there, or documentaries about comics in general, that they've made it happen with like not a lot of money. I can't attest to their timeline, how long it took them to finish, but comics, there's a documentary called Comics with an X at the end instead of CS. And then there's another one called Comic Shop Country, I think. I haven't seen it in a minute, but I remember watching it and thinking, like, this is specific, but I can't do this. I can't do these
What you
styles,
did was different.
You know
What you did was great. Because let me tell you, just seeing in the video, casting, holy shit. Again, this is a documentary, so this is not casting in the most formal sense, I would suppose, right? So how did you work this? I mean, did you dig deep to find the right fit for the story and narrative you were selling here?
Asking questions, man. So anyone who was willing to go on camera with me early on, like early days, I would interview them, get the practice in, get the time. Because a lot of these setups was just me, some lights and a camera and a microphone, doing my best. Later,
podcast style, right?
Exactly. Yeah, for real. And then other times I could get people to come with me who actually have been shooting their whole lives, and they know
they got some fucking equipment.
Maybe it makes a huge difference. I'm not
network,
saying you can't
network. Make friends, people. Make friends. All right.
Exactly. You can make a movie with your cell phone, but it's better if you don't. I think
if you had someone there that could tell you know what, if you stood over here, having that extra energy is someone that so long as they care about you and what you're working on, bro. Let me tell you, man, they ain't nothing better than that.
There's not been a single person to work on this movie that didn't love this subject, which is a blessing in its own right. Because when you're paying people what you could pay them on our budget, you're really happy that they're happy to be there for real. But like casting, first couple people, oh, you should talk to so and so. Oh, do you know them? I do actually. And then they put you in touch with this person. Social media was also really great. A lot of this is through my lens. So when people watch it, they're like, oh, you should have spoken with X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, maybe, and you should in your movie. But for me, I really wanted to talk to these people because I'm only going to get one shot to make this movie. So why not talk to some of my heroes along the way?
Absolutely. Why not? Again, this is your baby. You're talking about the community, a very sacred space in our community, which is the comic shop. And you're also a fan. So, if you have the opportunity to talk to these people that contributed to our comic shop ventures, why the hell not, bro? I'm with you there, bro. So, were there any audition stories that had you saying, what the heck did I just watch? Did you do like audition tapes or you were just asking? Did anyone ever submit a tape and you're like, what the hell is going on here?
Thankfully, no. Like for people
he said thankfully, no.
Thankfully, no. For actors we got out here, it was all people who went through an actual casting director she was Johanna. She's amazing. McGinley at Mime Wolf. She brought together some really fantastic talent that I did not expect to be in Ohio. It's prejudiced, I guess, but I'm just like, Ohio, like where am I going to find like camera people, artists,
I get it.
This and that. They're everywhere, dude.
They are. I grew up in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, on Morgan Avenue, and between Driggs and Nassau, and right in the corner in Nassau, right where I grew up is Silver Cup Studios.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I grew up around the scene, seeing films being made all my life. All these movies. Oh, this is in LA. This is Georgia. No bullshit. This is Greenpoint, Brooklyn. There's Astoria, Queens. This is Williamsburg. Like Bushwick. Like, shut up.
Right.
I mean, I love it. I love seeing that and seeing what all this is now. And seeing teams work together. And I want to get on that. Teamwork. Right. What makes your team, your sets unique when it comes to crew, vibe, and collaboration when you made this baby?
I mean, in my case, it's really people going through my filter and hearing them talk about the film. If they actually if they showed any interest when we're talking on the phone, where they'd say, I saw your trailer or I saw this and that, like if they did any research at all, or if it was just a job to them. Because again, for the amount you're getting paid, if you're only showing up to get a paycheck, you're probably only going to put in the amount of effort I'm paying you to, which is not a lot. And that's on me. If I want people to work at their best, I need to pay the most competitive rate. And I really tried as much as humanly possible because artists deserve what they are owed, not what you can pay them.
Agreed.
But there was always the caveat. Hey, here's the budget I'm working with. I can show you.
This is my budget. You deserve a lot more, but this is my budget.
Exactly.
If you want to work with me, we could do it. You know what I mean?
You're welcome to not work for me 100%, but I'm going to do everything I can for you. And I stand by that. Anyone who worked on this film, you can ask. I did everything I could for them at the time and beyond as much as humanly possible. Because I've been that person. I've freelanced most of my life. And so that was really the deciding factor for me, is like, do you care about what we're about to do? And are you going to try and make this as amazing as I hope we can together? Because it's not about me telling you bring in these lights, do this.
You heard that language? You heard the language, folks? He said we. I like that. Not I, not my project. I like the language you use. Shows me that you are a real creator that is about collaboration. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but I like that language. I 100%. See the energy. That's the type of shit that we want to see in creativity, in the community, people that want to collaborate, work, and have a symbiotic energy to bring something beautiful to fruition, like this dope ass project right here. I mean, for real. I mean, this is a great project. I cannot wait. And you said that early on that, Superman was one of your first loves in comics, right? And that is such an iconic and cultural symbol, let's be honest. So
it's America's first comic book character. Yeah, I mean, like there were comics leading back to the 1800s, but most people can't tell me anything about Obadiah Oldbuck, but if I mention right. But if I mention Superman, oh yeah, everyone thinks, oh, Superman's been there forever. Like, no, there's comic book characters that predate Superman, but Superman is the biggest as far as people know, you know?
So does your documentary here, I know it's about comic shops, but does it play or kind of subvert the mythology of the Man of Steel, kind of? Play
Not
with
at all.
energy? No?
No, not at all.
No touching on Superman, but just saying, folks, without shops, you can't get your Superman comic book.
Exactly. No, Superman's a part of it in every way, but as a character, like
for a superhero, I mean.
The one thing I wanted to avoid, the biggest thing I wanted to avoid when I was making this movie was to make the typical tropey comic book story where you're going to see a lot of like biff, bam, pow and halftone patterns and everything that comes when you watch a DC documentary. No offense, DC, don't sue me. But when you watch a story about comic characters, they really play up the comic bookiness of it. They play with all those tropes. And to me, that's is definitely a part of comic book shop love. You're going to see those tropes here and there, but comics are well beyond capes and boots. Like there are some incredible stories that someone's feet never leave the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a grounded human story. You see some incredible stuff in comics now.
And comic shops are more than just, like the Simpsons portray as little fat guys with ponytails and shit. You know what I mean?
Worst movie ever. None of that. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get some opinions at a comic book shop. Like, that's why they're beautiful places. You know?
Bro. So,
but we all have that shorthand when we walk in. When you walk into a comic book store and you know anything about comics, you already know something to say to the person in front of you to help you find the book that you're looking for. Like, I don't really like Batman. Okay, that gives me something. You know what I mean? Like, I never really liked this. I like that. Like, okay, we're gonna find you the next best story.
I always ask somebody what type of things they're interested in. Sorcery, superhero, noir, this, that, the other, and then I know a cool story you might like. You know what I mean? If it's noir, I'm gonna send them to Ed Brubaker. You know what I mean? If they want some off the wall shit, there's a lot of fantastic indie stuff out there, whether through the Kickstarter and just multiple independent labels outside of Image and whatnot. I mean, Image got great stuff, not this and them, but I'm saying that again, in the independent world, folks. Let me tell you, the diversity of creativity. Oh, yeah, baby, across film, comics, and everything. And Wes is a whole part of that, and bringing it. So what's one scene in Shopping for Superman that you cannot wait for audiences to see on the big screen?
I don't want to spoil anything.
Not spoil. Okay, is there an emotional moment even? Maybe how do you want people to feel when they watch this? Let me ask that then. How do you want people to feel when they watch this film?
I don't know. It sounds grandiose. I think I know how everyone's gonna feel at each part of the movie.
I know how I feel because I want comics out to survive. You got me sad from the moment I started watching that. And I started, and when homies said, "Yeah, we're fucked," I'm like, that's the part that made me laugh. Like, you mother effer, like this shit looks so sun rising and shit, and all of a sudden it's like the fucking sun got run out. And, oh God, bro, what's going on? And it's true. I saw a lot of the news that you posted. Oh, look, so-and-so opened the shop. And then, oops, so-and-so store is closed.
Yeah, that's the way it goes, man. Yeah, there's definitely some times. I've seen this with a few crowds. And I sit there just like as motionless and quiet as I can be because I want to hear every reaction. And the few times that I set you guys up, I'll get you. There's a few moments in there where I'll hear them in the crowd just like, got him. Like a little bit of quiet, a little bit of sob. Like there's some really heartbreaking moments in this because it's, 50 plus years of retail. It's a heavy thing. It hasn't always been. Yeah, it hasn't always been what it is or what it can be in terms of bright sky, bright sun, blue skies. Sometimes it's been pretty dark. It's been pretty heavy. For sure.
We almost lost the comic book industries in the 90s. And again, I'm worried about it now because I'm seeing a lot of the same mistakes being committed today. The speculator market, once again, the ultra variant covers, this, that. Stop. Repeat. I saw this before. Y'all about to stop.
The variants,
slow
man.
down, slow down.
I used to rail against variants only because, like, I wanted that cover. You know what I mean? Like, there used to be some cool covers out there, like one or two, and then now you get so many variety, and it's not always hot. A lot of times, though, there is a lot out there, and there are people who want to complete their set. God bless. Go buy every cover. Please spend every dollar at the comic book shop.
Yeah, support creators, absolutely. But God, and the shops. But geez, bro, sometimes just slow down.
It's keeping some artists employed. I mean, and
make,
it's hard,
make new books instead. Make some new stories. Stop being cover artists. Dip out there, folks. Come on now. Make it happen.
Sure.
You got Kickstarter, you got Zoop, you got Indiegogo, you got Global Comics, you got Fun My Comic, you know? You got men like Wes right here, the Eastern verse that you could probably send them a DM like, yo, Wes, can I ask you a question? I'm sure you're one of those that want to help the community. But bro, indie film hustle time, bro.
Right.
We gotta talk about that, bro. What's been the grind like getting this project out into the world?
It's rough because once you're done, you think, okay, well, surely someone will see how great this is, and all my troubles are over. No one really knew what this film was or was about until the trailer dropped. And then when the trailer dropped, man, it exploded pretty quick. I mean, for something this scale, a documentary about comic book shops, we had something like 40,000 views within a couple of weeks. Now it's not viral, but given what it is, like that was an impressive indicator to me that people want to hear and see this story. As far as the hustle goes, it's every day. It's trying to think like, is there going to be some merch somebody might want when they watch the movie and say, okay, I'd like to pick that up later and be able to represent it and encourage other people to say, oh, what is that? Like, oh, it's this movie about comic book shops, the history of comic book shops. Is that of interest to you? Trying to figure out how to make a Blu-ray DVD happen, how to.
Ooh, let's get it.
Oh yeah, it's.
Well, I mean,
wild,
wait, you're telling me you got extra footage that's not out in the cut you have released so far?
We got a little behind the scenes for sure. We got a little blooper reel.
Bloopers! Oh man,
that's right.
If
you're not sick of hearing me, man, if you're not sick of hearing my voice,
where's the stripper pole? You're supposed to be doing this on the stripper pole as you talk, and teasing everybody.
That's right. Yeah. I don't know. What would my stripper name even be? I don't have one lined up. I don't want to be Candy. That's played out.
No, just say.
With the comics, I'd be Diamond. No, I'd be Diamond. I'd be Diamond. People would have a lot of conflicting emotions about that stripper named Diamond. Is she giving it away or taking it? We don't know what's happening right now. Will somebody buy this? That's not right.
I'll make you a beat. Don't you worry now, all right? Reload.
I have to. Okay, hold on. Let me. Gotta dance for my pay. I mean, that's what you do. The hustle. It's wild because it changes too. Like I started this thing almost 10 years ago.
Oh, just 10 years ago. Okay, because I say just 10, but 10 years is a long time. Because next year, Comic Crusaders is the name and adventure is going to be 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
So you started your baby, you're saying, at least on this side, that was 10 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro.
A lot's happened in between, but like the whole game's changed. When I first started, people would hear a concept and be like, okay, we can back that. We can put money down. Now, and it's a lot like the comics game where, no, you get the money for it, do your crowdfunding or whatever to make your book, make your product, and then we'll see how that goes. And then when it's all done, we might be interested in giving you some money. I mean, people with grants and all this, they would say, you don't have to have anything shot to receive this money, but we do want to know from start to finish how this movie goes. We want to know what it looks like. We want to know the key players you have involved. It's like, I don't know who I can hire until I have money.
Wait a minute. Yeah, the world is crazy, but let me tell you. All right, bro, so let me ask again, big shout out to my man Below GeekFest, right? GeekFestLA.com. Check out that website. Now, GeekFest is showcasing your movie, right? What does that mean to you personally? How did you know about GeekFest? What made you submit to them?
A really interesting question. So I tried to do the traditional film festival market, and I was looking at all the various places that we kind of fit. You know what I mean? Like San Diego Comic-Con having a film festival, we said, okay, that's perfect. I said, that's perfect. Submitted. We won Best Documentary for that. We won. That's right. Also for LA Film Fest, saw that one. It was like, I remember the LA Film Fest when I lived in LA. This is a good spot to be in. Actually, while I was there, I got to meet the Incredible Hulk himself, Mr. Lou Ferrigno.
Hey, nice.
It's incredible. We're the same.
Did you ask permission for a picture? I hope you asked permission.
I did. I just went up and I didn't want to be rude. I was like, "Is that okay?" And he's like, "Yeah."
If you ask, he says yes. If you do it rudely, he will make you delete the picture.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all about consent, baby. That's number one with me. So it's like, is this okay? And his hands are like, oh my God, his whole hand. It's like if you ever shook Mike Tyson's hand, like it just kind of.
It took up even your forearm. You're like, holy shit.
Right. But we're the same height. He doesn't have hands. He has mitts. You know what I mean? Like
catch his mitts, right? Like what the fuck, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want to get slapped by him ever.
Yeah, but then seeing GeekFest, the one hang up with GeekFest though is they were only taking short form content, and I said, well, I've got an 86-minute movie that's not going to fit, but our trailer I think is pretty solid. So I thought, well, they do have a category for trailers. Maybe, I mean, I've seen some great trailers out there. Hopefully ours can compete. And then we got accepted. And man, it's amazing. So every film fest they have, they're showing our trailer to a crowd, getting a great response. And what more can you ask for? Someone who loves your project, who can actually take it from place to place and showcase.
And the right community that actually appreciates this type of stuff and understands.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell every retailer right now, yo, you gotta check out this John right here. I'm gonna tell all my boys, you gotta check out this. Again, I come from the LCS generation, man. I was the Wednesday Warrior as a kid. Me and my homie. Big shout out to Hans, to Mike, to Chino. I mean, we would go to the shops, pick up our books, go on bike rides. We would go from Brooklyn to Queens and go to Continental Comics, which I find out later in life, that was my Carbonaro store that does the Big Apple Comic Con. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's so cool. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, really cool. That man has been in my life, selling me comics since I was a kid.
It was wild last time, like trying to find shops in New York that were more central. I mean, going to Brooklyn, going to Queens, you'll find some stores for sure.
In Queens, you have my Continental, right? On Metropolitan. And Royal Collectibles, Metropolitan, and yeah, bro, that's a great shop. It's been there a long time.
Dude, my first time in New York, someone was like, "Hey, what's this Forbidden Comics place about?" So we popped in.
Oh, you went Forbidden? Okay.
The old location, man, before they moved to the corner, no, they were on the corner. They moved over. Just walked in. I was like, "Oh, this is my vibe." Like it was everything was wall to wall. I was like, "Oh, this is crazy."
The basement was wild,
dude.
Right?
That was my spot. That and St. Mark's for whatever reason. Like walking along, like finding that shop. Like some people have their stories about St. Mark's. Yes, mine was fine because I came across St. Mark's just walking around. It was like, oh shit, this is sick. Out of nowhere, there's just this little shop.
It was a nice shop. I went in nice with my boy, and my boy was looking for Defenders comics. My man had paper on him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you got these issues of Defenders, early issues. And the guy would put them out and go like this to him. He goes, oh, can I see myself? You can see it here. Yeah. I'm like, what's the problem, yo? We're not going to take your shit. My man was like, yo, he goes like this, I got money. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Fuck this place. You thought we were going to rob from you or something? I felt the way. No shop ever treat every shop I go to, they just hand him. They know I'm not that person, son.
I don't know.
My boy like a nerd, man. Yeah. It's like even worse. It's like, oh, what? We're not gonna do nothing to you. Stop. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's not cool.
No,
but that was 90s. I understand.
I was gonna say, well, no, like based on my condition, I haven't had the same treatment, so I wasn't even aware of this until much later. And some people were like, "Oh, you mess with that store, huh?" And I was like, "What about it?"
So you heard the same thing?
What do you mean? Oh man, I'm not saying it's a chronic thing. Like I don't know everybody's story. I heard it a couple of times and was like, I don't know what happened that led to that behavior, that attitude. We'll leave it there. Like
yeah, me too.
Hopefully it's based on an experience and not just no reason at all. I don't know what to say about
but
that.
it makes
Like,
you feel uncomfortable. I'm a geek, and like, damn, I want to
dude.
support the shop. I love the shop, but after that behavior, it's like, damn, you made me feel like I'm a criminal, and I ain't even do nothing to you, son.
If you're coming
You're
in
not
talking
trying.
about a thing you love, name like by name, not like
Naming, yeah.
you
bro,
have
I'm
Superman
crazy.
#1. Like, no, like I like Defenders. Like, well, someone has to. Let
Like
me
who? Like,
pull out the
exactly. Like,
spot.
who the fuck walks into a store and says, "I'm sorry, Mike. I'm just saying it's real talk." Who the hell walks into a store and says, "Yo, I'm looking for Defenders"? That kind of that's a weird thing to ask for. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
unique, you know. And I would if I had that inventory. Like, oh, thank God, I got somebody to let this shit sell this shit to. You know what I mean?
You know, there's kids in Brooklyn just sitting around an Overstreet guide. Like, I bet we can get some of these locally. Like, no, they love the thing that they're in there talking about. They
Well,
want
we're hunters. You know, we don't want to go to Amazon or online. We want to go to a shop. We want to go to a store. We want to go to a convention. We're hunters. We're craving the hunters.
That's the only way to do it, man. And that's what's frustrating with the lack of shops in a lot of places. Like in cities, okay, you might have to go a little further. You might have to go a little out of your way, catch a bus and a train, etc. But like, I'm in central Ohio where the nearest like real shop, I say real shop because there are places near me that can, well, there was two. Now there's just a gaming store that they can order for me, but I'm not going to walk in and peruse.
It's not the
I got to
same,
know exactly. The nearest one to me is about 40 minutes away.
Oh, wow, okay. Mine's just 25 minutes, and I have to go back to my old school. My big shout out to Jay, Rubber Chicken Comics in Bellingham, Massachusetts. Okay. What a great shop, man. Nice. And great things. Like right now, this weekend, folks, he got a clearance. He got overstock. You know what he's doing? 4 for $1.
Nice.
Quarter books, folks.
That's not bad.
So if you guys want to stock up on just reading material, giveaway material as creators, shit that you could, mess around with, bro, Rubber Chicken Comics, you better start going there like right now.
Hey man, speaking of that, we're a couple weeks out, but this is why I'm excited about. So September 19th is when our movie drops on the different platforms. But
what platform? When you say don't tease like that,
I'm gonna skip past it. So September 19th, Apple TV, right? Google Play. Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, I got Prime, so I'm watching. Yeah,
absolutely.
Baby.
A week after, on the 27th, it's going to be local comic shop day. So if your shop is a member of the Comics Pro retail organization, they're going to have exclusives. They're going to have all kinds of amazing books you're not going to find just in any comic shop. But the goal is to get people out there and into the comic book shop. I mean, that's the goal of this film, and that's the goal of that group is get people maybe who have lapsed on purchasing or have never even been to a comic book store in the first place. Get them in, get them carrying, because once you pick that habit back up, it's never been a better time to be a comics reader.
And it's a community. Get off your phones and meet people in person. Shake hands physically. You know that there's people that really exist. We're not digital beings. We are real. We exist. Shake those hands, get those hugs, and get into your geekdoms. You know what I mean? And
it's all about real. Together. For sure. It's a real product made by real people, sold at a real store. Like, it's all about realness.
It's real. There's no matrix. Stop selling these narratives. This is all a fucking illusion. This is not. I pinch myself every day. That shit hurts. That shit's not an illusion. All right. So, all right. Before we go, I want to know 2 more questions here. Your career spans tech changes because you went, again.
Yeah.
You're not. You're not as white as I am just yet, but you've seen the tech changes from VHS days to now the TikTok era. So, as a creator, what's the craziest industry shift you think you lived through with all that going on?
That's a great question, man. Because like going from VHS tapes down to like the mini DV tapes, when mini DV was around, that was so cheap in our mind. Like you get a prosumer, you get a prosumer, 3 CMOS. I'm saying that wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like the chips were the sensors were so much better, and suddenly you could have depth of field when they started adding lens. You could throw a a DSLR lens onto a camera, and
back
now
in the
you
day,
can.
everything was
Holy
so
crap.
like you could build. I was building computers where every part needs to be built. It didn't come with
Right.
anything on board.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the board, and just say, okay, you could install things in these things, whatever. I don't know what you want though. Okay, so truly customization. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I come from those days. I know how to build a computer up and down.
Right.
You know what I mean? But just seeing these changes in this now, like I got a new PC, a CLX a computer, and when I look at what's in there, I'm like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, what the fuck is this board? Look at the cleanliness of everything. What the fuck? Things have changed so much. Makes it easier. I still understand it, but wow. So I mean, how do you see these changes? Do you see that these being positive effects? Do you, as the creator, navigate towards maybe filming towards social platform type of views?
Yeah. So I think it's kind of on a curve, right? Because like the cheaper things become, the more ubiquitous content, and not art anymore, but content creation become. Everyone can make something, so everyone does make something. And when you have a lot of people doing something, you generate a lot of mediocrity as a result. And that's no shame. Anyone who makes anything, if you're making something and it makes you happy, all power to you. People call what I do mediocre. I'm just saying, the more people doing something, the more common mediocrity will be, because it's just out there. So in some cases, the cream still rises to the top. You know what I mean? But the problem, I think, is that you get a lot more noise. And so you find these platforms where people say, if you make something good, it's always going to show up. People are always going to see it. And that's not necessarily the case. People can outspend you. People can network better than you, and people say on a team, like, okay, you have something I need, I'll promote your stuff, even if it's not that great. So in my mind, the best thing is that we can all make a movie today if we really want to. It's not that we have to buy a $20,000 camera to do it and have a team of 20 or 30 or 40 to make that happen. We can do it with next to no people. Someone will watch it. I'm living proof of that. Someone will watch your thing, and it didn't take millions of dollars to do it. On the other hand, I think it's resulted in the lowest common denominator becoming far more common. Like the lowest, dumbest wins more often than it used to, because people didn't necessarily want to be challenged constantly. That happens every day of our lives. But art and our entertainment at least had some elements of that, some dashes for that, and now it's just a thing we put on while we look at our phones, sadly. So I don't know, it's everywhere. So how is it special anymore? Like, when you have so much of something, how can it be that great? Not that great, but how can it be that special, that unique?
And is AI the next disruptor, you think, amongst all these new tools?
I don't know. I mean, if lowest common denominator is winning right now, AI might have a shot, but AI can't do anything we don't tell it or we don't create first. So it's still dependent on us. At its best, AI could just tell us.
Repeat that shit, and it's dependent on us, right? It can't do shit unless we create it first.
Exactly. The moment a robot can improvise, we're in trouble. Right now, it can only regurgitate what we put in.
Yeah. So whatever it does, it's still your motherfucker. Whatever you do, AI is from us. You ain't done shit new. All right. So finally, Wes, if you could channel Superman for one superpower to help your filmmaking career, which power would you pick and why?
Mind control. 100% mind control, because I'm going to get that money, and then people are going to believe that it's the best movie they've ever seen when I'm done with them. Mind control.
And what's the one kryptonite that still gets to you in this business then?
Kryptonite, man. Doubt. Everyday doubt. Doubt will find you wherever you are, no matter what you're doing. And you have to remind yourself that everyone who ever did anything great, horrible, whatever, every one of them was doubting at some point while they were doing it, and you just got to get past that shit.
And so, folks, what I've learned here is that if he was Superman, if you put him in a fire style roast, you would defeat him instantly.
Oh, absolutely.
Make him doubt everything when he gets roasted by legends. Anyway, okay, and lastly, like for folks out there just trying to step into the game and doing what you're doing and building, what would you tell them to do if they were just trying to get a start?
Find the thing that you love so that when you're frustrated with yourself, you can go back to it because you love it and it's a story you want to tell. If you can find that kernel of love in anything you're working on, you'll stick with it and you'll find out if it's really something you want to do, because as hard as things get, love will carry you through the process for sure.
You're not lying, brother. And again, wow, an absolute blast, brother. So
Thanks,
a huge thanks to one and only Wes Eastin here, the Western Verse, for hanging out and dropping knowledge bombs, baby. You gotta agree here about his career, his amazing new film, Shopping for Superman. When is it dropping again? Let them know.
September 19th on Apple TV, on Google Play, and Amazon Prime Video.
You hear that? You hear that, folks? You better stay tuned. My man ain't playing. This is real. All right. So you know what to do. Go show this project all the love in the world. Share it, support it, spread the word amongst your local comic book geeks. Go to your retailers like, yo, this is John out here about comic books. Spread the word like kryptonite at the Justice League barbecue. All right.
The comic book shop should really be selling the Blu-ray that we have pre-order on the website. You should probably tell them to pick that up.
Oh my God!
Know.
Are you talking about that website right here? Shopping for Superman.
There it is.
.com. This website right here, you could pre-order it. Physical copy, digital copy. You could get merch. You could see the whole summary. You could get behind the scenes. You can get all these lovely things on this website, folks. See, we know how to people here. I'm trying to tell you, these are the things we believe in. Show this love at Shopping for Superman.com. The store's available now. You can get this now. Check out the official trailer there on repeat. You know what I mean? We showed you before if you want to put it on rewind. But you can also, again, simply just go to even their YouTube, right there, YouTube channel, Shopping for Superman. Check out the socials, shop number 4, SUPEDOC, once again, and support independent creators like my man right here, for real, yo. I mean, they're making it happen. This is the business. And also, please, this is what I need you to do. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Comic Crusaders, hit that notification bell. Right, so you don't miss no more exclusives like when we talk to people like Mr. Eastin over here, right? Legends of comics, film, and pop culture. Don't forget to check out GeekFest FilmFest. My man Bill O, shout out again. Thank you for bringing amazing people like this into the business right here for me to talk to. This is the home of the dopest indie flicks on the planet, GeekFest FilmFest. All right, and do I need to show you the link one more time? Of course, that is geekfestla.com. Folks, make sure you do that. Make it happen today. Check that out. And until next time, this is Al Mega reminding you, please dream big, hustle hard, and always keep your cape ironed. Way